Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. Whew, that's still a mouthful every time I say it. So hopefully you guys had a good day. Hopefully Walter, my puppy, won't be too active. He's usually not very active unless Hank starts barking, but he is out here in the studio with me. They ate dinner a little bit early, so Bo brought him out to hang out with me. So hopefully he doesn't make any ruckus. But good evening. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. I spent most of my day prepping for the retreat that starts next Thursday. I am almost halfway done with design or prepping the cards that come with the weekend. There's 8 make and takes or 9 make and takes. There's 3 each day. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even though we start on Thursday, Thursday's kind of a free day. But we start make and takes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you guys have 9 make and takes, and almost half of them are done. So I've got a little bit more work to do, but hopefully I will get that done in the next couple days. Good evening, Anna. Good evening, Bev. Welcome. So today's card, I decided to focus on a couple of the retiring items. So the small daisy punch is retiring, and it is definitely a really cool staple to have in your craft room, but I'm very sad it's retiring. So we're going to play with that tonight. And then one of the dies is retiring. I had to remember which one I used. One of the dies is retiring, so I thought I would coordinate both of those together. Good evening, Jessica. Welcome. So it is a very quick, simple, easy, but super elegant, super beautiful card that can literally be created in minutes. So that is what I'm going to show you guys tonight. Let me flip you over and we can get started. I just want to make sure we're live on my iPad. And nope, that one's not it. Let me look. Well, there we go. We are live, ready to go. So let me bring in the paper we're using. So this is a Mega Designer Series paper pack. It is called, I use the Dainty Design. Oh, it is. Actually, I used some of the other paper that was in the Dainty Design. But it is in the Mega Pack that is still current in the mini catalog. I swear to you, I try to be so prepped and prepared and ready to go, and it never fails. Something always happens. But that's okay. We're still going to go with it. I did bring in the Rain with Nature stamp set. I need some Get Well cards. I don't have anybody that's sick right at this moment, but I was looking through my card rack, and I didn't have a whole lot of Get Well Soon. So I pulled in this Get Well Soon. And here is the dies that we're going to be using. It's the painted label dies. These have actually been around for a while. So hopefully you do have them in your collection. And I am using this guy right here. So he was super easy to pop out, and all the little pieces came out super quick. So that's the die set that's retiring. And then the medium daisy is retiring as well. This is so fun and so cute what you can do with this little guy. I actually saw somebody take 2 of these and do it as a bunny ear with the ladybug punch. So I thought that was really cute too. Sorry, my earphones just went off. And then I pulled in the double oval punch, which is carrying over as well, because I love when a sentiment fits and you can layer them together. So those are the products we're going to be using. Let me bring in the card. Good evening, Mary. Welcome. So this is a card we're going to be doing. It's a very simple Get Well, but I pulled in the daisy and the little die behind it, and you have plenty of room to write your sentiments. So let's get started. I am going to do some of the, I do have this one that we're going to do, but I pulled in some of the other Designer Series paper as well, just to kind of get a different feel for the different colors. So any Designer Series paper you have will definitely work. I just picked different ones. So this is our thick basic white, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. I'm just going to fold this, give this a good crease, and then we can set this aside and just kind of start assembling. So our Designer Series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. and our matching cardstock. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So these are our layering pieces. And when you cut when your designer series paper is 12 by 12, when you cut it at 3 3/4 and then you go in to cut it at 5, you can get 2 out of 1 strip, and then you have this little piece that's left over. I found this was the perfect size to cut 2 of your daisies, so you don't have to cut into any other designer series paper. You can definitely use the scraps. So I'm going to start by layering these 2 pieces together. Hopefully we don't have to do any surgery on the glue, but I'm sure we will. I got my pre-order today. My UPS driver actually called me and said, I am literally 3 houses down from you, but I can't deliver your stuff until like 7 o'clock tonight. He's like, can you meet me? So I literally jumped in the car. This was at like 10 o'clock this morning. Jumped in the car, went and met him, and then I had a doctor's appointment. Got home and still haven't been able to play with it. But I did open it at least and look through the top couple pieces. But other than that, I have not done anything. So I didn't have any Poppy Parade ribbon. So I just pulled in some of the Blushing Bride, or the Petal Pink ribbon. It matches because there is Petal Pink in here, but I don't think this ribbon is still current. Sorry. I just grabbed something off of my shelf. And this I'm going to put down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that over, grab some mini glue dots, and I usually put the ribbon on, so I'm not 100% sure why I decided to do this a little bit backwards, but that's okay. It'll still work. So now I have to flip it back over to make sure it's even. I think I'm a little discombobulated. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, could not go back to sleep, so maybe I'm a little tired. So I'm going to wrap the ribbon around, and then I'm just going to glue our little die cut piece down. And I just pulled in the colors that were in the designer series paper. Nothing special. So I'm going to bring in my daisy punch, and I like to flip it upside down so I can see where I'm punching. So I'm just going to punch one, come over here, and then punch another one. There we go. So on my original card, I did both of them the same direction, but you can definitely flip these around and then you just offset it a little bit. But before I did that, I went in and just gently curled the little pieces of the daisy. So you don't want to go too hard because you can rip them. They rip really easily since we are using designer series paper. And they are super tiny. So I'm going to grab a mini glue dot. And I'm going to offset this onto here. And I am doing the opposite colors. There we go. And since when I rolled it backwards. So I'm going to come in with a mini dimensional, put in the center, and then that is what's going to get put in the middle. So it kind of has that little curl to it that it goes under a little bit, and that mini or that dimensional helps keep that curl. So I went ahead and punched our circle or our 2 ovals, and I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. There's really not much to these cards. There's very minimal stamping. You can do whatever sentiment you want, but I needed some get well. So I'm just going to come in here and ink this up. There we go. Clean that off because we're going to use it again. Let's glue this down. And then I did bring in some of our rhinestones, but they're the larger ones. I think they're the iridescents. Hold on, I'll get the name of them in a second. I'll let that dry for a quick second. And iridescent pastel gems. So I think this is Calypso Coral, but next to it, it literally looks like it is the sweet sorbet. So that's what I just stuck in the middle of the daisy. So we can go ahead and glue this down. And I like to always put a little extra glue on the ribbon just to make sure it stays. So there we go. While all that is drying, I'm going to bring my ribbon back in. I'm going to tie a quick little bow. I did put one of my stamp sets that I just got together because it was sitting on top and I had a few extra minutes before we went live and I probably should have tied my bows, but I didn't. So give this a little trim. There we go. Let's flip this over, add some dimensionals. This right in the center. Now, when I did do my original card, this kind of flopped a little bit just because of our dimensionals are on the side, so it attaches just to the ribbon. So I definitely would recommend putting a mini glue dot underneath the ribbon as well. So this was actually pretty easy. You could just lift it up and then tack it down, and now it's not going to wobble. And then come in and attach your bow. And this is definitely a bright and cheerful get well card. And I actually think both colors look really good. So I have another design. Actually, it's the same design, just different designer series paper. And this one is definitely bright, bold, and a little crazy. But I think it'll be perfect for a get well. It'll definitely put a smile on somebody's face. So let's glue these together. There we go. Oh, thanks, Jessica. They're super easy and quick. Sometimes I do a little bit harder cards, but I like to do ones that I know that are duplicatable. And these are definitely duplicatable. So again, I did not have any of the Mango Melody ribbon, but our, what is this, Pale Papaya actually looked really good with it. So I'm going to use it. So even if you don't have the exact color that you're working with, it's okay to substitute. And I still think it looks gorgeous. And honestly, I don't think anybody would know, oh my goodness, did you see the card Sarah made? She did not use Mango Melody ribbon. I don't think anybody's going to say that. So there we go. And I like to put the ribbon on first, then I can kind of judge where this is going to go. Thank you, Bev. Something different. And we're using a designer series paper. Does anybody ever hoard their designer series paper? I kind of do. We need to stop doing that. We need to use it and share it and put smiles on everybody's faces. I could have sent this to my daughter last week. She was super sick. Maybe I'll do a belated get well. She probably would just laugh at me. There we go. And then let's do our daisies. Punch one, slide this over, punch another. And you could definitely do the same, but I think I want both go in the same direction on this one. I love this paper. It is definitely bright, cheery, and gorgeous. All the colors that they come up with in their designer series papers, always gorgeous. So tomorrow, my catalogs should be here. So if you did get my email about the binding, I will be taking them, maybe not tomorrow, but definitely on Saturday. I'll be taking them up to get them bound, and we should have them soon. Oh, that would be a great congratulations card. Absolutely. So this is probably the hardest part, is keeping your wobbly fingers straight while you're trying to put these together. And you could even, if you want this to be a little bit higher, you could put 2 dimensionals on it. So I just stacked the dimensionals and that will make it a smidgen higher. So your leaves will actually kind of curve a little bit more. So there's that, and then let's bring the gems in, and I think I might do the lighter gem in the center. There we go. And then all we have left to do is our sentiment, and before I put that down, I'm going to grab a mini glue dots, tuck it up underneath the ribbon. A good way that if you forget to do that, is just to put a couple extra dimensionals on the top of your scallop piece, and that will save you from having to put it underneath the ribbon. So let's ink up our Mango Melody. Perfect. Let's glue this down. There we go. I am going to carefully flip this over. Sometimes when I flip it over, it shifts if I don't let it dry long enough. Let me see if I have a couple mini beside me. And I only have my black mini. I don't have my white. So I'm just going to come up here and put one up at the top, and that will secure the ribbon a little bit more. Struggling to get the backings off. Oh, make sure your sentiment's going the right direction. So stinking fun. Literally, these are so fun and cute. And so duplicatable. You could definitely crank 10 or 15 of these out in no time. Tie your little bow. Grab your snips, give it a little tiny haircut. I don't think my paper snips are very sharp anymore. I always say I'm going to get a new pair, and then I'm not going to use them with any adhesive. And then I can't find a pair of scissors, and I use my good ones. So there we go. So here are 3. I don't know what time it is. I might have enough time to put the last one together, but it's the same one as this. But they're still fun and cute and definitely different, that you could really put a smile on somebody's face. So I'll just quickly put this last one together, and then I don't have to do it tomorrow. Since I pre-cut 4, we might as well put all 4 together. So this is a great way to use up designer series paper. You could do all different sentiments. You could do a rainbow of sentiments and have them ready for when you need them. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this off. I'm just going to lay it on and trim it. And then we'll put some mini dimensionals on the back of it. And if you don't have all of these specific ribbons, it's not tragic. Use what you have. Or what I usually do is find ribbon that I have, and then I find cards, designer series paper to match. That's another good one. Let's glue this down. And if your designer, or if your cardstock is the same color as this little piece, you can cut it out of the back of this and nobody will ever know because we're covering it up anyways. So you could save a little bit of paper if you wanted to. There's that. Punch these out. A couple catalogs ago, they had a large daisy punch. That was so cute too. Let's do opposites. And actually, you can probably see what bending it does. I don't know if you can kind of tell in the camera, but bending it does give it that little extra 3D look. So I really do think that that's a good thing to do. It's obviously not tragic if you forget, but I think it does help. So almost done. Grab glue dots. Glue these together, offsetting it a smidgen. mini dimension or a dimensional in there. Pop that guy in the center. Let's do our sentiment, which I didn't bring the correct ink over because I forgot about it. So we're going to pretend we're just going to put this down. So I'm going to put one at the top, one at the bottom, and probably none at the side, and that is going to hold my ribbon in place. So I will do the sentiment later, but let me grab a gem. And we'll put one of these gems on the inside. So there you go. There are all of your cards. Super quick, super easy, and definitely beautiful. I think they are anyways. Hopefully you guys do too. So let me see if I can get all of these in the camera. Let me scoot them up a tiny bit. So there you go. There is your card for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will be live on Tuesday for another card kind of class, I guess. But I won't be live on Thursday because that's when our retreat starts. And we're usually out getting dinner, bringing it back, or crafting. And before I know it, I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's 7 o'clock. I just missed my live. So Thursdays of the retreat, I don't do live. So next Thursday or the Thursday after that. But I will be here for the next couple Tuesdays. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. When I prepped these, everything was still on the clearance rack. These two items that are retiring that I used, the dies and the daisy punch, it was still available. So hopefully, if you love it and you wanted it, it is still available at this point. So if you need anything, let me know. If not, we will see everybody on Tuesday for another live. Chat with you soon. Oh, and have a great Easter. Hopefully everybody has a great Easter. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.